Hey everybody, and Tony here with a review of Mozart's Cosi Tutte, which was shown at the Ballsaal studio. The conductor was Andrew Rosenfeld, the production was done by Rebecca Fox, the costumes were done by Ivona Warmbier, the stage design was done by Kerstin Eichner, and the lights were handled by Fabian Eichner. Today's musicians were Alice Dixon on the cello, Daniela Gubatz on the second violin, Olga Katsonova on the first violin, Shasta Ellenbogen on the viola, and on the piano was Andrei Horvin. This also marks the second time I've seen this opera, so let's get on to the chase of what I thought about the production, conducting, costumes, and singing. So what I've seen from this production was that the people behind this basically set this to the 1920s, and I have to say that they really worked with what little they had given the space of this concert venue. They were able to really make parts of the scenery really come alive with all the furniture and even all the costumes. And I really have to say that they look really lovely. And it wasn't shocking. It was just sweet. It followed the libretto and it was rather pure in its own special ways. So I'm not going to mince words here. The production, for what little they had, was absolutely fabulous. Same goes with the costumes. And now we get to the singing, starting off with Fiordiligi, sung by Courtney Ross. And I have to say, she was absolutely fabulous in this role. I saw her about 6 months ago performing Come Scoglio at the Refugees Welcome concert hosted by Professor Janet Williams, and she was absolutely wonderful there. Here, she sang Fiordiligi with such aplomb, such versatility, and such agility, and such heart that I was totally immersed with her performance. And it also helps that she has a very gorgeous countenance, almost similar to that of a movie star. She was absolutely gorgeous, physically, vocally. She just really gave it her all in this role, which is no surprise because I've researched this woman's repertoire and she seems to specialize in some lyric coloratura roles, then even specialize in some dramatic coloratura soprano roles, and then the lyric soprano repertoire. And she really is that versatile, as evidenced by today's performance of Fiordiligi. Then we have her younger sister Dorabella, performed today by the wonderful lyric mezzo Jean Bruchhusen, and she is absolutely yet another fabulous singer. First of all, her physical appearance is tall, slim, and absolutely gorgeous. Her singing is of the highest order, with such a smoky yet velvety timbre, and also giving off such really scintillating tones. And she was absolutely in her element with this role, which is no surprise considering that she's been performing Dorabella for many years. And she continues to find a lot of wonderful colors, a lot of wonderful facets about this character, which she manages to really do very, very well. And she really has a great chemistry with Courtney Ross as Fiordiligi as the sister act. And not to mention, she is such a pro in this role that I was absolutely also immersed in her performance. She really gave off such a fine performance, helped by her tall and athletic stature combined with her wonderful lyric mezzo voice. And I could definitely see a bright future for this woman, performing roles like Elisabetta from Maria Stuarda, Sara from Roberto Devereux, Isabella from L'Italiana in Algeri, Zulma from Il Turco in Italia, and maybe even some of the pants roles of the bel canto repertoire, like Calbo from Maometto and Isolier from Le Comptoir. Who knows? She really has a lot of potential with singing a lot of these grand mezzo-soprano roles. And then we have their maid Despina, sung by yet another wonderful soprano in the form of Katie Boulding. She has a very sparkling and scintillating lyric coloratura soprano voice, and her acting is absolutely fabulous. She's able to make Despina a very sarcastic, snarky, yet very fun-loving character who loves to be a little bit mischievous from time to time. She's absolutely a pro in really making Despina, likable, yet kind of feisty, and her singing is also of the highest order as she has a very fine technique, helped with such fine coloratura lines and a very delicate and gorgeous timbre. Then we go to the men's side with Guglielmo, sung by the wonderful baritone August Lorenz, who has a very handsome and very gorgeous stage presence, and his voice is absolutely really good for a young singer like him. I can't really wait to see what the future will hold for this young baritone. He's good for today, but I'm sure that with 5 years and 10 years' time, he will absolutely be excellent, especially with the repertoire that he has. Then we have Ferrando, sung by Erik Engqvist. What I seem to notice about this tenor is that he usually specializes in a lot of the secondary or character roles, with some forays into the light lyric tenor repertoire. He's really good as Ferrando. He has a very strong stage presence, and I really love his rendition of Tradito Schernito. However, we have at our disposal all the great Ferrandos of the past, the likes of Anton Darmotta, Luigi Alva, Fritz Wunderlich, Nikolai Gedda, Peter Schreier, and many, many other lyric tenors of the past who specialize in a great deal of bel canto and or Mozart. With him, I thought he was really good. I'm sure that in 5 or 10 years' time, he'll absolutely be a lot better, and I'm sure that he will be in a lot more leading male roles. Then we go to the philosopher, Don Alfonso, here in this production being a fashion designer, played by the basso Andreas Drescher. He has a very fine and youthful basso voice, and he definitely knows how to dominate the stage, and he has a really, really wonderful future ahead of him. So overall, I have to say that the singing is really excellent. Combining a lot of the young singers to some of the veterans, you could really see that everyone worked in harmony, and it showed that they gave such a magnificent performance, and I'm sure that there will be bigger, grander, and more awesome things for these singers to really conquer. Then the conducting done by Andrew Rosenfeld was absolutely well done. Not to mention the orchestra playing from Alice Dixon, Daniela Gubat, Olga Katsonava, Shasta Ellenbogen, and Andrei Horvin. They were absolutely fabulous. So overall, I really have to say that everyone in this production did wonderfully. From the people behind the production, to the singers, to the conductor, and to the musicians. Everyone was a pro. Well, that's all for now. Be sure to tune in next weekend for my review of Luci Miei Tradirci at the Staatsoper Stille Theater. So until then, good night, everybody.